Hey guys, it's Kobe with Rural Bible Reviews coming at you again this week with another Bible review. This week I'm reviewing the Reformation Heritage King James Version Study Bible. I did not own a King James Bible until I got this one. Now, let me say this. I do own two King James Bibles, but they're not mine. What I mean by that is, one of them is my grandmother's Bible, so that's not a Bible I'm going to use, like carry to church or, anything like that. It's one that I'm just going to kind of cherish and, have put up. The other one was one of her brother's Bibles who served, and if I'm not mistaken, he died in service. I could be wrong about that. I'd have to look into it more, but either way, it's his, and I've got that one packaged up as well. So yeah, I won't be using that one. So I wanted a King James Bible, but being a Bible person, I was kind of being a little snobby, and I wanted a premium one. So anyway, I've ordered from Reformation Heritage before, and they were having a sale, and I got a steal on this Bible. It's not available anymore. I'm looking at their website right now. They do have the calfskin leather, which is very nice, but they don't have the goatskin leather one anymore. But either way, it's what's inside that matters. But this Bible, as you can see, comes in a clamshell box. It's very nice, very pretty. I'll let you guys pause right there. There's your ISBN with your information. And it tells you everything you need to know on the back of it here. And I'm going to set this off to the side, and here is the Bible. As you can see, it's kind of like Cambridge. It's got Holy Bible imprinted on the front. It is goat skin leather. On the spine, it is imprinted. There's no raised tool hubs or anything like that. And on the back, it's just plain. You can see there is gold gilding with the red under gold. Very well done. One thing that is just one little minor drawback is the ribbons. They kind of went the crossway route on this, and it's got two little ribbons, but I can always get the ribbons swapped out. I can't do it because I'm not that good with my hands, so that would just be terrible. But as you can see, it does have perimeter stitching. Let me hold this up. It is a big boy. As you can see, this is a big old thick Bible. You open it up, it is edge lined. You've got this liner here that I'm not sure if it's leather. It might be. If not, it's a very nice synthetic, but I believe it might be leather. But then you got the vinyl end sheet. And as I always tell you guys, whenever it's edge lined, do not pull those two pages apart because that's part of the reinforcement. And this has got a good, thick, hefty reinforcement, which you need for a Bible this size. You open it up. Here is your presentation page. And you've got other legacy pages here. You've got Holy Matrimony, Family Record, and Occasions to Remember. There you see here it says the Reformation Heritage KJV Study Bible. This was Joel Beakey is the general editor. This was printed and bound by Royal Youngblood in the Netherlands. So that tells you what you need to know there. And here you go. You've got your table of contents. Now, as you can see, there is a lot of different things in this Bible. You've got study helps. You've got your creeds and confessions. You've got church history. You've got a reading plan, money, weights, and measurements. You got a concordance. You got acknowledgments. And then in the back, you've got maps, but it's the Zondervan maps. And as you can see here on the table of contents, I'll kind of hold it up there. You can see you've got an introduction to the Pentateuch, and then you've got an introduction to the historical books, introduction to the poetic and wisdom, introduction to the prophetic books, what happened between the testaments. Then you go into the New Testament, and you've got an introduction to the Gospel and the Acts, and then you've got our introduction to the epistles, and then that'll close it out. But this Bible, like I say, this thing is beefy. And then you've got a list of in-text articles, because you do have all kinds of different articles. And you've got an alphabetical list of the books of the Bible. And then you've got a, well, I think I turned too far there. Hang on. Sorry, guys. Yep, alphabetical list of the Bibles and books of the Bible. And per usual, my thumb does not want to work. And then you've got a welcome from Joel Beakey. Well, you got your abbreviations over here to the books of the Bible, but you got a welcome from Joel Beakey here where to this Bible. And then you've got reading the Bible experientially. And then you've got the King James Version, which is kind of like your foreword here. And this paper, I don't know what GSM this paper is, but it's very nice. If someone out there knows, maybe they can let us know. But here's your Old Testament title page, and then here's your introduction to the Pentateuch. And then here is your introduction to the book of Genesis. Now, as any good study Bible will have, it says authorship and date, and it tells you to refer back to your introduction to the Pentateuch. And then it's got your theme, your purpose, your issues of interpretation. And then you've got your synopsis. And then you've got an outline. And then here you are. It's a 2-column, verse-by-verse Bible with your notes here at the bottom. Your study notes here at the bottom. Now, the font is a 9.8 Minion font, and the notes are an 8-point Myriad semi-condensed font. So the note font isn't much smaller than the font of the Bible, and it's great. It makes it real easy to read. And another thing, if you'll notice here, the ESV verse-by-verse preaching Bible does this too. It's got a pilcrow for when a new paragraph begins. So I think that's awesome that they do that, because that's very helpful. Something else that is unique about this Bible that you can utilize is right here, as you will see. And again, let me pick this bad boy up. You've got thoughts for personal family worship for chapter 1. And those are scattered throughout, which is, great, because, helps you with doing family devotion time or family worship time, or even your personal worship time. Here's one of your articles. It's adapted from John Calvin's Institutes, and it's Creation and God's Glory. Now, I don't know if I mentioned it or not, and I don't know if the title gave it away, but it does say it is the Reformation Heritage Bible. So this is a Reformed study Bible. So if you're not of Reformed theology, you want to pick this up, please do so. You can still learn from it. Even if that isn't what you believe or how you think, you can still learn from it. So, but anyway, see again, here's another one. Thoughts for personal family worship for chapter 2. And those are in bold and everything. But here, I'm going to open it up just a little bit more. That way it'll lay a little flat here and you can really see it. But this red under gold is just beautiful. I like a deeper color like that where it's not faint, where you can really see it. And here I got a place mark for the Psalms, and you can see the poetic setting. It's laid out just like the rest of the Bible. It's not really poetic. It's just verse by verse. Kind of reminds me of the topaz. The King James isn't my primary translation. I'm not against it. I grew up as a child. That was probably my first Bible was a King James Bible. But I haven't read from one in years, so I'm planning on, Lord willing, if I'm still here next year, if this earth is still standing, next year, my yearly read-through, I'm going to do in the King James. I don't want to start in the middle of the year, but I will do it next year. So anyway, and I'm going to use this Bible. But I'll flip through here a little bit more. We'll get to the New Testament. And as we're nearing the end of the Old Testament, Oops, I went a little bit too far. I always do that. All right, it has what happened between the testaments. So when you go from Malachi to Matthew, it tells you what happens, in the 450 years in between. So it gives you some a study help there, which is wonderful, I think. And then here's your New Testament title page. And then here's your introduction to the Gospels and Acts. And then here's your introduction to Matthew. And again, it's got the same layout as the introduction to Genesis. All of them do. And then there's your outline and everything. And here's the text. And let me get over here. It is a black letter text, which you guys know me. I love black letter text. So, but the layout of it is just, to me, it just looks good. Sorry, I had to get me a drink there. I just like the way it looks. I like the bold in the notes here. I like how your verse numbers in the notes, your chapter and verse is bold. That way you know which one you're looking for there. I like how, again, I like the Pilcrow idea. There's a lot about this Bible that I really, really like. Like I say, this is my first King James, and I've got it here. I've got it in Romans chapter 5. That's where we're at my church right now, going through the book of Romans. So, I really like this Bible. I mean, I've got some study Bibles. I've got a couple of MacArthur study Bibles. Spoiler alert, I'm not a MacArthurite. I do benefit from him. I'm not dispensational, but you chew up the meat and spit out the bones. But I do have a couple of his study Bibles just because they're just too helpful. I do have a Reformation study Bible from Ligonier. And I've got, or a Reformed study Bible. I've got two of those. I've got one that was my mom's. That is the condensed version that was smaller, and then the bigger one they came out with. And then I've got a couple of the ESV study Bibles, which I think everybody needs an ESV study Bible. To me, it's one of the best, hands down. I say that now. It might change when I get done with this one. We'll see. All right. So you get to the end of Revelation here. Here's another article where it's talking about heaven. And then you get to your study helps, which, I went over those at the front. How to live as a Christian. And it's just got all kinds of different things there. How, there's fellowship with believers, self-denial, raising children in the Lord, showing hospitality. I mean, this thing is just chock full of just great resources and helps. And like I say, even if you're not Reformed, you can benefit from this Bible. Now, here's 20 centuries of church history, and it goes through the different centuries and everything. And then you get to the end of this, and you've got your creeds and confessions. You've got the Apostles' Creed, the Nicene Creed, the Athanasian Creed, the Belgic Confessions, the Heidelberg Catechism, the Canons and Dort, and then my three favorites, me being Presbyterian, the Westminster Confession, the Westminster Shorter Catechism, and the Westminster Larger Catechism. Again, these are just neat things to have. And it gives you the layout here of the Apostles' Creed. And it's in the Old English, which I like, which is what I first memorized going to my Presbyterian church back where I used to live. So that's nice. I've got the ESV Creeds and Confessions. I actually got it in the goatskin, the new edition. I'll be reviewing it here soon. So be looking for that. But yeah, this Bible, like I said, I can't recommend this, to you guys enough because, to me, it's just wonderful. And I like, too, how it's got verse references to go along with whatever the question is or whatever the catechism is there. I think that's good to have. Scripture references. I don't know why I said verse references. Here's your reading plan. I just skipped by it. See, there's one for family worship, one for private reading. So I like how that's laid out. And then here's your concordance. I'll get to the back here. It's a good long concordance. And then you've got your acknowledgments. And then you've got several. And when I say several, I mean several blank pages. And yes, it is Bible paper. It's not lined, but this is some good paper. So you could do some good notes on this. And then here's your Zondervan maps, which they look really good. I like the deep colors and everything. Those are really, really nice. I'll just flip through those, let you see them. And then you get to the back, there's your, your end sheet and everything, and there you go. What do you guys think? You going to pick one of these up? Right now, as of this recording, which this is on Thursday, the black calfskin edition is on sale for $48. It's normally $102. And I will say, no, you save $102. It's normally $150, so it's $48. The hardcover edition of this is on sale for $20. They have an ebook. They have a brown cowhide. They have the black calfskin. They have a brown and gray leather like. They have a leather two-tone, gray two-tone, and then they have a large print hardcover. The large print edition, which I don't need the large print anymore, but if you do, your font is 13 point and your notes are 10 point. So that would be good to have. But also, if you've never shopped with them, and I'm going to leave a link down below, if you've never shopped with them, if you sign up for their email, you'll get 10% off on top of that for your first purchase. So you can't beat that. So, go check it out. Also, guys, I want to let you know, as you know, I've been talking about the Wrath and Grace app. It's I've got a link to it down there below. Go check them out. I'm sure they're going to have a good sale for Father's Day. As a matter of fact, I know they are. I got an email about it the other day where I think if you spend over $50, you get free shipping. They've got shirts, hats, hoodies, tumblers. They've got everything. They even have cigar cases. If you're a good Reformed person and you smoke cigars, you got you a to-go cigar case. So, hey, let me throw in some controversy here. Also, I've got a link down below for the Truth and Love Network. You can see my wristband here. I am now officially a part of the Truth and Love Network. To tell you a little bit more about them, the Truth and Love Network exists to proclaim unifying doctrinal truths of the Christian faith and to teach the church to work through secondary issues with charity and respect. If you're on social media at all, if you're on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, that last part about charity and respect, it doesn't exist on the dumpster fire that is Twitter or that is X. There is all kinds of just craziness out there. But there's also some craziness out there in a bad way. So I get why people get the way they are sometimes, but hey, it's no excuse. We're to love one another. I hate to be the one to tell everybody, but when we get to heaven, there's not going to be a Presbyterian section. There's not going to be a Baptist section. There's not going to be a Church of God section, a Methodist section, a whatever section. We're all going to be together. So, same for hell. When you go to hell, or if you die lost without Christ and you go to hell, there's not going to be a Baptist section. There's not going to be a Presbyterian section. No, it's just going to be hell. So, there you go. But anyway, that is my review of this. Do all the things like I always ask. My link tree's down below where you can follow me on all my social media, on my Facebook, my Instagram. Also, you can look me up on Facebook. If I'm not friends with you and I don't think you look like you're a suspect, I'll add you. Also, my Buy Me a Coffee will be at my link tree if you want to help support this ministry in any way. Also, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Hit that bell notification. For those of you that I reached out to or that you won, I mailed out your stuff today. So you should be getting it here within the next few days, hopefully. I did send them everything priority. So the closer you are to me, the quicker you'll get it. But the ones that aren't so close to me probably take you a couple of days, but I'd say you get it by early next week at the latest, because like I say, today's Thursday. I did go there this morning after I got my hair cut, so I probably left post office before noon. But anyway, so you guys should get those here soon. Let me know when you get them. Either text me or send me a message on Facebook, email me, do something, because I'd like to know that you got it and what you thought of it and everything. I hope you enjoy it. But we're getting to 1,000. We're slowly creeping up. We're well over 500 now. I think we're at 542 last I checked. So let's try to get to 1,000. When we get there, I am going to give away a premium Bible. I've decided, even if it's one from my collection or one that if somebody wants to donate one, hey, that'd be great. I know Tim Wildsmith, I don't have nowhere near the channel he has, but I love it. People send him all kinds of premium Bibles to give away. Some of it's from publishers, some of it's from people that subscribe to his channel. But at Christmas time, he does like the 12 days of Christmas. He gives away so many premium Bibles. It is just awesome. You know, I'm not there, but hey, I am going to give away a premium Bible once I get to 1,000 subscribers. Also, I've got several Bibles to review coming up. I did mention I got the ESV Creeds and Confessions in the new goatskin. I've got that one. I've got a journaling study Bible from Crossway that is the Artisan Edition. I've got a rebind that my friend Matt is sending to me that Logos Bible Rebinding did for him. I've never held one of his rebinds, so I'm anxious to do that. I'll be reviewing that one. And I've just got several others that I'm going to review. So anyway, as always, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for getting us to 500. Let's try to get to 1,000. And until next time, grace and peace.